I say, here at Kajun Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it with no problem. I got an offer. I got the dollars. Let me have it, please. I got the dollars. Let them have it. You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let them have it with no problem. Let them have it.
Hello, and good morning, everyone, on this hump day. What day it is? It's hump day. First in the chat today to get that 5 point is Miss Pammy. Hello, good morning, and welcome. Also, Lucky Charms Wendy. Good morning, hello, and welcome. Bobby the Cap Guy. How are you doing this morning, Bobby? Hello, and welcome. Also, Just Me, Kathy. Good morning, girlfriend. How you doing? Yenzer Picker. Hello, good morning, and welcome. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Yes, it is a good morning. Treasure Noir, how are you doing, Kayla? Good morning, hello, and welcome. New video almost finished uploading. I got demoted. Watch it if you would like. I will definitely check it out, Bobby. I'm curious about that demoted part. Hope it's not one of those clickbait kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Solar Seller, how are you doing, my cousin from Louisiana, Miss Dory? Good morning, hello, and welcome. Passports and Pizza Pies, hello, good morning, and welcome. How are you doing this morning? Let's see here. Everybody's saying good morning to each other. Yep, it is showtime. Yes, please hit that like button. It is free. It doesn't cost anything, and it does help the channel. Good morning, Mara. Buying Spaces. How are you doing this morning? Miss Crystal. Moon Goddess Treasures. How are you doing this morning? Hello, good morning, and welcome. There's Horizon Picks. Good morning, Roy. Hello, good morning, and welcome. April. Hello, good morning, and welcome. I think at this point, it looks like everybody's just saying hello to each other. There's Paul, the flipping sports guy. Good morning, hello, and welcome. How are y'all doing? And actually, believe it or not, I see Roy's comment. Where did it go? Couldn't stay during the live yesterday. That's the one. Crystal. I stayed up until almost 10 o'clock last night. I said I was going to be a trooper and supportive. I said I was going to be there, and I was. But it was hard this morning getting up. And I don't know how y'all do it. Let's see. DC Sales, good morning, hello, and welcome. If y'all don't know, if you saw the intro with that little red license plate right at the end of it, and I have it right here on my wall, that's who did it, DC Sells. She does some awesome work. She did all my license plates, actually, these two as well. Love advertising. Let's see. Mimicking you back by Silver. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And also, don't forget to put your links in the chat. That way everybody can check to see if they're still subscribed to you. And if not, they can do that and make sure you hit the notification for all notifications so you don't miss anything. Now, without further ado, please put your hands together and welcome. Yes, it is early in the morning for the special guest because usually she's not up this early on a live, but she said she would be here, and I am honored to have Miss Dawn and Mary from Two Hip Chicks. Good morning.
Coffee helps. Extra
You're
coffee.
sitting in the background the whole time. We've been talking before the show, and I always do that with all the morning, go through everybody as much as I can, get caught up, and then bring them on. So thank y'all for coming this morning. And I'm so, Storage, Stacker, hello, good morning, and welcome. Can't wait for the next one. Right? Yeah, it was hard for me this morning. I don't know how y'all do it. Stab that lady, get up that early, or get up early.
Crazy. They're crazy.
So how are things on your end in your neck of the woods, Mary and Dawn, or Dawn and Mary?
It's early.
Yeah.
I'm usually awake. I'm not sleeping in until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I'm usually awake, but I just don't function early.
Let's just say she's not camera ready.
At that early. Okay.
There you go.
Well, this is an honor to have you this early in the morning, and I thank y'all for saying yes.
Thank you for having us.
So I know a lot of people know some of those in the chat should know you. And if they don't, let them know a little bit about yourself as far as just kind of like a short summary for those that might be new in the channel or that may not know you in the channel of what y'all do in your channel.
Okay. I'm Dawn.
Holy crap, we're big.
We're big. This is Mary. And we are now full-time resellers.
Yeah.
Yep. I had started dabbling with it when I was working for the man, and then decided once they
Here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She grooms me as well. Thank you.
As long as she doesn't do like moms used to do in the olden days and lick their hand and cut back. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Oh, thank God.
So then once I was they had offered voluntary retirement, I decided to do this full time. So that now we're doing it full-time. We have a show that we do, Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern time, which is called Chick Chat, which we just talk about all sorts of things, not all just reselling, many topics. And just hang around. I help with Dollar Holla with Johnny and Victoria. And what else do we do? I do post some pre-recorded media or some videos when I get a chance.
There we go.
What do you do?
I've been selling since late 90s when eBay was just a baby.
When you got checks?
That was when you did money orders and checks?
You could get money orders and checks in the mail.
Yeah.
Because PayPal didn't exist back then. I don't think.
No.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah.
Yeah, I started doing that back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And then have dabbled in it on and off here and there. And then opened an Etsy shop back in 2013 or 14.
We have a booth.
And we have a booth now.
Yeah. And we have a website.
All right, we have a question already. How do you guys like Shopify?
How do you like Shopify? Because she does the most of that herself.
Okay.
Fine.
She likes it.
Yeah.
There you go. Bobby just subbed to y'all. He didn't even know y'all had a chance. Look at that.
It's not easy. You kind of have to know a little bit about websites and stuff.
Coding, a little bit about
coding, but not bad.
It's real basic HTML.
It took me a few months to get it to export everything from Etsy over to and I'm still working. It's always a work in progress. There's never not a time that is not a work in progress. Because now I realize my photos aren't that great. So taking better photos.
Refinement.
Yeah.
You're always refining.
But I like it.
I have a question. And what is Shopify and what do you use it for? I've heard of it, but I don't know about it. Good morning, Picky Nikki.
It's a platform
for your website.
So you don't have to pay somebody to set up your own website. You basically, they have, there's a lot of things that are free in it and that you can pick your own
templates.
Thank you. Words are not easy at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Your own template and go from there. And then they have apps that you can use for different things, but the shipping is all right there. You set up your own shipping.
You set your own. You have to pay for the e-commerce stuff.
Yes, I have the basic plan. It's $29 a month.
Yep.
Okay.
But that way we can accept.
And then there's a slight fee for credit cards. It's not bad. You can upgrade, pay more money and stuff like that. But right now, for what I pay is not bad.
Yeah.
Right. All right, hello. Good morning and welcome, hello to Miss Picky Nikki, and also Save Her First. That is Ella. It was fun. Yes, I was in a chat for the first time. I finally saw somebody different that was live, and Ella and I were talking back and forth in the chat and asking questions. So it was so nice to see her in another chat. Good morning, hello, and welcome, Misha. Hello, good morning and welcome. Let's see here.
And everybody else.
Change custom made. They're talking back and forth about her work. Good morning, Patrick. Hello. Let's see. Everybody's just saying hello. And if you have any questions for Dawn and Mary, or Mary, just put them in the chat for us. We'll go ahead and ask as I see them. I'm trying to go through it. Thank you. Those there.
You can see it on there too.
Roy's here. Momster's here.
Monster's
in the
here.
chat.
Woohoo!
Momster doesn't have a rent.
Oh, hello, Momster. I just realized when you said it, I was looking. Let's see. Like the online stores without
you can
eBay
trust
or
them.
Macari or Amazon. Or is it like online stores without eBay or Macari or Amazon?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The hard part is getting people to find your website.
Yeah. So that's why you have to shamelessly self-promote.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Almost like Poshmark.
Almost.
Yeah.
Except you don't have to share. You just
So you have to know a little bit about SEO and tags
and all that fun stuff.
And I'm still
She's learning.
learning.
Right. Which is a good thing because you have to learn these days with everything new coming along. Good morning, Momster. How are you doing? Good to see you this morning.
Beautiful sunny day.
She's always up early.
She's an early riser. As long
Have
as
to
you
go
get coffee.
Escaping, yeah, and I'm the same way. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning. Hello and welcome. Come out tomorrow at 1 p.m. at Vicky, Nikki, and Renee in Buy It Now auction. Oh, there's the link. Set it up for tomorrow. Set the reminder. Let's see. How is everyone liking managed payments? I just started last week, and I'm rather keeping accounting separate. May have to open a business account. May suggest best way to go. For me, I do have two separate accounts on eBay. I have one that's personal and one that's business. So anything that has to do with Kajun Roots Reseller, I have a tax ID, the EIN number, the whole 9 yards. I keep that separate in a different account because everything that has to do with any platform I sell on, whether it's any auctions I do, all of that goes through on the eBay side, no matter what it is. I like managed payment because you can set it up to get paid on a regular basis, every day, every other day, every once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever, you set it up. The thing about there are some things that I don't know all of when it comes to managed payment. I hear a lot of negativity here and there, like they're not getting paid or something's happening. But most of the time, when you're first starting out, no matter what platform you're using for payment, if you're just starting out, they are going to have some times where they can hold your money until the item has been delivered.
Yeah.
And they have a tracking number. So that is something, if you're just starting out and you're having those issues, just bear with it until you get to, and I know when I first started, I'll call eBay. Why is this happening? I've been doing this for 90 days already. All of a sudden, you're starting to hold my money. You're starting to hold these items. And then they told me that they can do it within any time of the first 160 days, $100 and 100 sales or $1,000 in sales, whatever comes first. But they can do that all the way up to that point. So just be able to bear with it. How do y'all like it? Are y'all on managed payment?
Yeah, we're on managed payments now, yes. And we had pre-established a business account before we went to managed payments. So it wasn't that hard to keep those things separate. Right. And I did have a separate eBay store that I was just playing with to, trying different things on. Mm-hmm. So one went before the other one. The main store went first over to managed payments. I haven't had an issue. We'll knock on something.
Horizon has a good point too. Is it easier for you to track your fees because it automatically will come out before they send you whatever's left from the fees and your postage. Then that goes directly to you. So I like that. I agree with that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we did the same thing. We have a tax ID number. We are legit business because there's no such thing as a hobby selling on eBay. The IRS does not look at it as a hobby. They never have.
No,
but if you become a good seller and you don't have a business tax ID, the IRS will find you eventually.
Yeah, I'd rather.
And then one thing, I just signed up this last week, in which I haven't sold anything or listed anything yet, but I did sign up when I heard a lot about this shipping off and selling on Facebook Marketplace. And some people get the shipping, and some people don't. So you have to work with it or whatever. For me, when I went to sign up, and it asked because, again, I imported my information automatically as the business account. It automatically started me with everything that I had to enter my information, my banking, and then it automatically asked me for my tax ID number because then it gave me shipping available. So that was pretty good. Have that all at one time when you sign up for stuff like that.
Exactly.
Victoria.
There were a lot of minions going on in Victoria's. I was watching this morning.
I think that's almost every morning, though.
Super chats get minion. Thank you.
A lot of times I think they do it just to aggravate Jennifer.
Cool. Minions.
I think that's what's going on. So, yeah.
Well,
it's like, that's not the one you want to pee off.
When it happens, you get kind of
off to work. Catch y'all later. Well, have a good day, Patrick. Don't work too hard. Always look at it this way. That's one person you don't want to mess up with. And don't pee off. Managed payment was what is deposited in your account net?
It equals what's deposited is your net, and then
Correct.
your income taxes, your personal income taxes
Is your responsibility.
they will collect their whatever state sales tax and whatever they need to, but you have to pay your own income tax.
Exactly. I love this. Etsy. Also, I'm used to managed payments. I didn't realize they use managed payments. Hello, Susanna. Good morning. Hello and welcome. Let's see. Everybody's just talking back and forth about the show last night. He's thanking everyone. So I did see them. I don't know. I know you did. Wait, I know you did, but I wasn't doing it oh, okay. They were talking about manage Angel. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so if you have any questions for Dawn and Mary, go ahead and put them in the chat. Make sure you put it. So yeah, it's just a matter of casual asking questions kind of thing for those who may not know who Mary is or Dawn. So I have a question to start this off with as far as how long have y'all been doing the antique mall part of your business?
A couple years.
Couple years now. We were looking.
It was Dawn's idea.
We were actively looking for one, and one opened finally. We went around to some of the other ones that were really high priced, closer but higher priced, and they ended up closing down. So,
oh wow,
the couple that we looked at, either they didn't have any room, or they were really high priced.
It's limited here.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of antique malls in this area.
Right.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to the one that was, how far away is
15 minutes?
15 minutes away.
That, down the expressway.
And we ended up going with that one, although the building's older. It's in an old grocery store. But they have it set up pretty nicely. It's right off the highway, right next to a McDonald's. So they get a lot of traffic.
We're from Detroit and Chicago.
We're kind of in between Detroit and Chicago. So they get a lot of, pull-in traffic.
The town that it's in, there's a large inland lake, which is very popular with the Chicago people. They have a lot of summer homes there.
Yep.
So there's always traffic in the summertime.
There's regulars and there's seasonal.
Yeah.
So we get both. So yeah, about 2 years we got in there. We went in, took a 10 by 10 space. And
yeah, there was only 2 available.
Yeah, at the time. So we took the one that you could see right from the door.
Right.
And we painted it bright blue.
How they said that, location.
Exactly. So when they look down the aisle, they see our booth right away, really boom, so they kind of go that way.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros and cons. This is Kayla. She said, ladies, what is the biggest pros and cons of having a booth?
Okay. Depending on the booth and where you go, everybody's different. So some of them will, of course, you're paying rent. Most of them you'll pay a rent for the space you're in. Some have also tack on a percentage of sales. So there's that.
Yeah, ours calls it a commission.
Yeah, or commission. Some of them also tack on like transaction fees. So if they're using people use credit card, you have to pay part of that.
Which is understandable because you would have to pay for that. If you had a storefront,
right,
you would have to pay a percentage to the credit card companies.
You have to be diligent about maintaining the space. So you have to go in at least once a week. You should, I shouldn't say you have to. And sometimes, sometimes it'll be part of your agreement, but you go in and you change things up. You move things around. Just like driving down the highway, if you see the same billboard over and over again, you stop reading it. People do frequent antique malls every week. They come in. The same people. So if they see the same stuff, they're not even going to see it anymore. So yeah, going every week, being diligent about changing things out helps. The other con, is you may have to or may not, depending on the agreement, do some time at the front desk. If it's a sponsor, run by one person who owns a building, you may have to come in and do some desk duty.
That was going to be one of my questions. Do y'all do any floor time is what they call it?
Can, but we don't.
Okay.
In our space, the agreement is if you come in and do desk duty or floor time, you get some money off your rent.
Right.
We don't do it because we haven't got the time to do it.
Right.
But we could if we wanted to.
Yeah, they haven't forced the issue.
Yeah, they haven't pushed
and
it.
They only had like Saturdays available, and I was like, no.
Oh, I'm sourcing. Forget that shit.
Yeah. You're not taking away from my time on that.
No, heck no. No.
My sister-in-laws, they both have a booth in Rockford, Illinois is where they at in that area.
Oh, okay.
I know where
And the
that
place
is.
that they have, they're grandfathered in actually because when they first started, they had it to where it was mandatory that they had it so many hours on the floor for floor time, which also came off your rent. Then you had to work one day out of the week behind the register, and there was only certain people who could do that. And then once they changed the policies after a couple of years, anyone who was under that plan was able to stay and grandfathered in for that. And now anybody else who comes in, because the lady who owned it did pass away, the family came in and took it over, but they are letting one of the ones that's ran it for longer go ahead and run it as a manager. And so they still have that same thing where they still have to come in and do their floor time. And then they're starting this thing, I don't know if y'all have it, where once a week or once a month, they might be looking at 2 now because their first one was very successful, where it's only for the vendors after hours to come in. You can help clean up, refreshing your booth, whatever it is that you can do within the time frame allotted after they close. They said it was so successful that now they're doing it twice a month. So
cool.
that's pretty good that they're doing it.
I mean, we could go in during active hours as long as we're not.
They don't have any time where you can come in after hours.
No, they're open. You can go in. They're
so
closed.
when we painted the booth before we moved in,
we're doing that right.
We were
shopping
right there. Yeah.
So, the
stinking everybody out with paint fumes.
It wasn't that bad.
It's all good.
It was indoor paint.
People passing out. It was great.
It was a big space.
Now, my next question for you on your booth, in your booth, are you allowed to have, or if you have any of these big ticket items or big items that you may use for display? Do you have anything that you mark that says not for sale, display only, as far as for things you want to keep?
Yeah, she's got the glass shelf.
J. It's an J.
It's an J. Okay. Yeah, a few things that we do that.
Metal and glass.
Yeah. So we do that. But some of the pros of having a booth are you get to take in stuff that either is too bulky to ship on eBay or Mercari or Etsy or wherever.
Any platform, yeah.
Yeah, any platform. Or, there's stuff that it isn't worth putting up, listing on its own. It's not worth the time and the energy, or it's something that's locally sourced, something that, people, if there's an old orchard or something that you have the crates for, stuff like that. So we have now an outlet for that. Plus, Mary likes to play with furniture and repurpose it and fix it up and paint it cute, do cute things with it.
Right.
There's a place for that. So it's kind of nice.
When you go and sourcing, at least what's good about that too is one of the pros about it is that when you're sourcing and there's something you see that you can make money on, that's the best way to pick it up because you can have a place to put it in an antique booth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good morning, hello, and welcome, Underpants.
You can use the furniture for display.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I had they called me Monday. I have this glass wrought iron base to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I have it marked not for sale, display only. Well, they called me Monday that some lady was interested in buying it. I said, well, no, it should have a tag on it saying not for sale, display only. She said, I didn't see it, but I'll put one on there for you. I said, thank you. So, yeah, they do call me. And then one thing about my booth is I know, I'm not sure if y'all do this, but if you, in our antique mall where I'm at, if you want, and you're stern on that's the price you want, you have to put the word firm on it. And I don't put it on any of my items because I've only had I've been in there almost 2 years, going on a year and a half. Yeah, just made a year. Year and 4 months. They make it to where if you put anything in your booth and you don't have firm on it, they'll call you if somebody's interested. I've only had it one time, and then somebody asked me if the stand comes with this big, large ginger jar I had. And they just called and asked me, does that stand go with it? And I said, yes, it is included. So other than that, I've never had anybody actually call. I have to say that my prices that I use in my booth are like for old cameras, sewing machine, bigger things.
No. We get calls.
She gets calls all the time, which is fine. They're pretty cool about that. And people know that would you say it's mostly local? I don't even know if it's local.
No, but that mid-century painting that I had in there, we had it in for a year, and because it was
huge, big.
I bought it from a local online auction, and the auction place misspelled the artist's name.
Always fun, because then you can look it up the right way and know exactly what it's worth.
Knew what it was worth, bid on it, got it for like $60. I had 400 or something on it. I don't remember now. And I was thinking about taking it out because it'd been there for a year and it takes up a lot of wall space. And I got a phone call, and so from the mall, and the lady and I went back. Basically, the person, she was here. So the guy, and usually it's a friend of ours that calls. So he's being the mediator, and we came upon a price, and I made a pretty good.
Can you go 400? No, okay.
So, and I just got a call the other day on a piece, and the guy wanted it for a lot cheaper than what I wanted to sell it for, and I dropped the price $10, and he didn't like it, so I was like, "Hey, no biggie. Somebody else will come around and buy it."
Right. Now, what is the best piece y'all ever did that you actually refurbished and sold?
Ooh. There were some chairs. There were some tables. I mean,
I love the one you did with that desk. When you did that desk,
that desk was cool. It's still there, by the way. It's
still there.
Oh, okay.
It's waiting for just the right home.
Yeah, I watched your video when you did that one. And I love it. It was nice.
I've done chairs before, and we've sold them for good money.
Yeah.
I mean, considering it was free on the side of the road kind of cost, and then paint and a little labor and some fabric.
The desk was it's a little wooden school desk.
Yeah.
And I basically had to take it all apart and then reglue everything because all the joints were loose and everything. So it's a learning process for me because I haven't done that much ever. And so I just watch videos and
it's
stuff.
only been in the booth, maybe
6
over
months.
the winter.
It hasn't been that long. Yeah.
No, not at all.
And then I took vintage state of Michigan map.
Yeah.
And then decoupage that on the seat, the back splats, and the desk.
Yeah. When you're doing your different things for the booth, what is the best or what is the most go-to item that you do to look for when wanting to put things in your antique booth?
Ooh, anything different. Ooh, yeah. Anything different and weird. That always sells. A lot of vinyl is selling right now.
I bought a cast iron toilet paper roll holder.
And then there's that.
Different. It was green for some. I think somebody had repainted it or something. I don't know.
And it was heavy.
I got it from an online auction. It was a heavy mother trucker, and it had these nasty nasty teeth on it.
We feel that maybe it's possible they did not perforate rolls of toilet paper back in the old days.
So you had to be really careful with it. And so I forget what I got it for, but I put that in the booth, and our booth, 2 of the walls are pegboard.
Yeah, and one's brick.
Cinder block. So I put it up. I had $125 on it, and I pretty much sold it for that. I think they got a 10% discount.
Yeah.
But I made she was like,
I was shocked.
She's like, nobody's going to buy that. I'm like, yeah, they will.
I personally called it the Mangler because it had teeth. I mean, it
looked like almost like one of those meat tenderizer kind of looking things.
Oh my God. It was like, it was a little cage for toilet paper, but it had teeth on the edge. And it was like, like your tape roll teeth.
You just set the roll in it.
Right.
Teeth. And then, you just set the roll in it and then pull the toilet
My
paper.
grandmother had one of those. Yeah.
I knew that it was weird enough.
Right.
So I priced it high.
And terrifying enough.
I priced it high. It was very ornate, and we sold it.
You got it.
But there's also dealers that come through there.
Yeah.
Right.
And buy stuff.
Right.
Always.
I was going to ask you, how often do y'all run any type of sales or discounts in your booth, and is it only around holidays?
Usually we follow along with whatever the whole store is doing. They'll have events, they'll have
they had a spring sale last month.
Holiday events mostly. We don't usually discount on our own. We'll wait and jump in on everybody else.
Or if the month has been kind of slow, just to generate income, so at least we can pay rent.
But we haven't had to do that in a while.
No, so you can set your own percentage,
right?
What you want off. So we usually do like 20% off.
But haven't had a lot of.
So how long have y'all actually been doing anything that has to do with like eBay or online sales in your store?
How long?
How long? When was it y'all started doing eBay, or what other platforms y'all sell?
Late 90s.
Yeah.
For me.
I was Probably about the same. I was doing it part-time a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
I was always part-time.
So at least most of my work career, I was doing it on the side. In fact, I quit for a year, and I just went out west and did it for a while and then came back because of personal commitments. But yeah, it's always been something I've done.
So how long has it been that you went full time?
Oh, this June of last year. Just June of last year. Yep.
Almost a year. Pick and Nikki made a comment about she's having issues where she thought she was getting notifications. One of the things you might want to do too, if sometimes you're getting to a channel that you like to watch on a regular basis, unsubscribe and then resubscribe. That way you can redo the notification, because sometimes that happens as well. And it may help. I've found that it helps. So that's what I do. Now, if anybody in the chat would want a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. Also, don't forget to drop your links to the channel. Hello, James. Welcome. How are you doing this morning? All the way from Mexico. So as far as when somebody, if in say in the chat, somebody's interested in maybe going into wanting to do a booth from an antique mall, what would be the top kind of suggestions you would give them if they're interested in wanting to do that, or what should they do before they even think about getting into the booth?
Well,
business.
Well, yeah, make sure you get a business license. Get a business license.
Come up with a name.
And then I would also start looking around at the different places that have booths or cases open, because some places not only rent out space as a booth, but they'll also rent out cases that pre-exist in their space, or sell you or rent you out a space for a case. And if you want to start small, you can always start with a case. You don't have to start with a whole booth.
Right.
Especially if you have a lot of small, pocketable items. We call them pocket-sized items because we keep them in a display case because we don't want them ripped off.
Right.
But you can shop around, look at basically what's your contractual agreement with this place? What are you responsible for? What are they responsible for? And weigh in all the, take that and weigh everything. How much are you paying for rent? How much are you paying for on top of sales? How much are you going to have to pay? Do they collect tax? Do you collect tax? That kind of thing.
Yeah. The question here from Yenter is, what is a reasonable price to pay for a space at an antique mall? We're thinking about it by the wife.
They're in different pages.
And different pages. They're both on different pages and thinking about what we should pay.
It depends on where you live.
Yeah, it really depends on where you live, because we don't pay as much as Johnny. Yeah. We pay $170 a month for a 10 by 10 space.
Yeah. But we're in a different area. I mean, we're in a somewhat seasonal area, but it's
we're not in the city.
We're not in the city. It's so it depends. If you're if you're getting a booth in some place that's on like Antique Row and everybody's there, they can help charge for that, because people shop that area knowing that they're going to hit a lot of different antique malls or a lot of different antique booths. So it just depends on price.
Yeah, because for me, I pay $195, but I have a larger but longer booth. I used to have two smaller ones. I was paying about $120 for both of them. And so for me, the money I'm making in my antique booth, and that's another thing you want to look at too, is how much you think you might sell in a month. Are you able to bring in good items, and depending on the traffic in that particular booth? I would suggest, and this is what I did. When I first moved here in Massachusetts from Louisiana, I basically went through a couple of places and we would go shopping and kind of looking around. And while I'm shopping, I'm still looking to see how many people are there, how much traffic they're getting. I tried going, we would go in different days of the week. Like one day we'll go on a Friday if Robert's off, or we'll go on a Saturday or a Sunday, just different days of the week. Because usually sometimes that's the only time we can do it. But for me, I was able to do it on other days too. And for me, that helped me decide, okay, which one should I go with? But for me, the first one I went to, they never contacted me. And the thing that I didn't like about that one was every time I would go in there was a lot of unopened booths that were empty. And it's like, okay, why is this happening? So let me get my name again, contact them again. Never got in touch with me. And I don't know if it's because I just moved here. And I was upfront with them. Look, I just moved from Louisiana. I'm doing this. I would like to see about getting a booth. Again, it never worked out. So I just went to where I know had a lot of traffic. And so far, I have to say, There are some slow months, so you got to put into consideration making sure you have some items that are rotating. Because for me, I go every Friday in my booth. I bring new items, I move things around, dust, clean, and that kind of stuff. And if you do that on a weekly basis, you get to know exactly what is selling weekly or the time of the year and that kind of thing. But yeah, you might want to go into the areas that you have, kind of get an idea, even ask around or ask the person behind the desk, what is the typical rent? What is the sizes that are available? Because I know where I'm at, they have multiple areas where it's just either a bookcase, a shelf, a lock-in case type thing, and you just have to ask around of what would be working best for you, because every location is different.
Yeah. So yeah, also don't be afraid to put small items in there, because small items will make your rent, you know. You
less expensive items.
Yeah.
We've been selling records like
crazy.
But it pads
our other sales.
It's $5 here, $10 there. So people like that less expensive stuff.
They do.
But we've also sold more expensive records.
Right.
And what we've done is we took a couple peg hooks and put like one of the more colorful album covers with a LP in it, obviously,
up high, so
up or higher. So it's like, hey, look,
there's a record over there. They may have more. Yeah. 45s, LPs. I don't sell a lot of 78s or shellac records anymore.
Because they break.
And they break. They break. But yeah.
And we were lucky. We have a friend that has a booth or two at the antique mall.
Right.
And so when we went in to ask about it a couple years ago, he was working behind the desk. And he's like, yeah, there's 2 open, and I think you should take this one because it's a better location in the mall.
Plus, you get the straight poop about what's going on.
And so we were able to ask him a ton of questions.
Yeah. So it does help to know the person.
And always be nice to the other vendors.
Yeah.
Regardless of
if they're crazy or not.
Yeah.
If they're absolutely crazy. But
well, one thing I have to say on mine, every time I go to always seeing a different vendor. Like I usually try to go there right when they open at 11. Because they open from 11 to 5, 7 days a week. And so it's kind of hard sometimes when I'm trying to get there. And some days they're so busy that I try to bring my heavy things if I'm bringing in new pieces or display pieces and things like that.
Yeah.
But I do know that the more you go in there and you, like this one lady who worked at my antique booth, she saw when I was getting moved from a smaller booth to a bigger booth, and she says, you can't sell that. You can't take that shelf. I said, what do you mean? It's mine. Oh, no, she said, I want it. How much you want for it? I said, how much you're willing to pay for it? And when I'm selling one of my older displays I've had for years.
There you go.
And she loved the color. It was like this pale yellow, antique looking corner shelf that you would see in the kitchen. And she bought it from me. I told her the price and she paid for it. So yeah. You just never know when you get to know people.
Yeah.
We had this big, probably about 3 feet tall. I have a thing for like industrial metal cabinets and boxes and drawers and stuff. And it was an office piece.
Top file.
It had a top file, and the manager of the place, I negotiated a price with him, and I sold it to him.
Yeah.
Because he had just become the manager, and he needed something in the office, and he's like, that would be perfect. And I'm like,
right.
Yours.
And like,
that's right.
Everybody in there is selling stuff, but they're buyers too.
Yeah. And that's another thing I said in a couple of my videos that I did with me doing the antique booth. Don't be afraid to shop at antique malls, because for one place that I go to, even though it's in the antique mall where I'm at, it's an old cedar mill. On the other side, there's this one booth. Every time I go in there, they're having 50% off.
Wow.
And so I'm catching a lot of brand new sealed games and things like that if I can make money on it, I'm buying it because it's 50% off. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Network. Talk to other vendors, employees, customers, etc. It does not hurt to be nice. Exactly. Hello, Miss Carol. She said she loves our antique mall. She's been... Her and I meet when we meet in the middle. Sometimes we'll go to my antique mall because her and her husband want to come and check out the stuff.
Totally.
Antique mall, yeah.
And the other thing I do, I don't work behind a desk. Neither one of us do that. But I've had customers in there while I'm in putting new stuff in, and they've got their arms full.
And you're like,
they have a couple shopping carts, and I'm like, listen, I can take that to the desk for you. What's your first name? And they're like, Helen. And I'm like, all right, Helen, I'll put this up there. It'll be under your name. And that way they're shopping.
Yeah.
We're nice to them because I'm still representing not only my booth, but the
whole
antique
place.
mall.
Exactly.
It doesn't take but 5 minutes to walk to the front desk and say, hey guys, this is Helen's stuff. Can you put it in? Because there's a big, huge table
in the middle of the checkout area
that they keep people's stuff, and they have
Yeah.
yardsticks to separate it all. And
Right.
I'm like, this is Helen's, and she's, and so Helen buys more stuff.
Yes.
I did that too when I'm at the mall, because they do have the little small shopping carts of the totes. But when I see somebody else sell, because we have these big bookcases at the checkout that you can actually put it in, put their name and that kind of thing. That does help a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's something I learned over the years just from the jobs I've had.
Right. Be nice to people.
That customer service is priority number one. And, it just
doesn't hurt to be nice.
Exactly.
Doesn't cost you a thing.
Good morning, Boris and Natasha. Hello. Good morning and welcome.
Nice.
As far as anybody have any questions, right now we're talking about antique malls, booths, and things like that. And again, every time I have somebody different on the shows, because they do have a different thing to offer us. You just never know. And again, morning shows that we're doing here with y'all, for y'all, it's more in reference to letting everybody, and again, I always say this a lot, think outside the box. Other than just your platforms on e-commerce online, what else can you do? And I know some people do flea markets. Have y'all ever done that?
No.
Not yet.
I don't want to haul the stuff.
Not yet.
But that's a whole nother ball of wax, because you have to, we sell a lot of breakables.
There's not a close one either.
And there's not a good close one. There's one about a little less than 30 minutes away. It's in Pawpaw.
Oh, yeah.
They're in Massachusetts, heading back home. Well, have a safe trip.
Yeah.
Flipperson, hello, good morning and welcome. Good to see you.
So when I was living for like 5 minutes, I lived in Arizona, and you could literally pull off to the side of the road, throw stuff out of your truck or your trunk, and sell it on the side of the road. I wish we could do that here.
We call them garage sales.
Yeah, now here they're garage sales, but yeah, we do a garage sale almost every year.
Yeah,
just.
And we do the garage sale is for stuff that either hasn't sold. We've tried it in the booth, we tried it online, it's not selling, and whatnot. And we're not in it to make money on the garage sale. It's basically a way to repurpose.
Yeah.
Give it,
let somebody else have it, or
Right.
take
and
it.
by the last day, we're like, here, you bought this,
you get
this.
You have this too. Yeah. So.
Dory says, I like the topic because something I may be getting into is furniture. I have a flea market across my neighborhood. Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
If you get into repurposing furniture, watch videos. There's so many good people on YouTube that refinish furniture, give you ideas. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
I came across a channel the other day, and I cannot remember the name of the channel because I just came across it recently, where his wife, and his daughter, they actually have an antique mall. They do have an antique mall where they have their booth for them and they own it. They also have things where they sell online, and they also have where they refurbish furniture. But the way they refurbish it is they actually take furniture that somebody has either painted or redesigned it, and then strip it back down to the design. So that was pretty cool that I saw that one. And that's another thing. You can either do it like what you do, Miss Mary, or you can take it down. And so you have to know what you're doing when you're doing that.
Just summon everybody.
I don't know what I'm doing, Johnny.
You just do it?
I just wing it.
Doing it.
Really?
I get ideas.
It's a cheap way to experiment.
I didn't know that.
Basically, like I make my own chalk paint now.
Mm-hmm.
I found a recipe online. I bought the ingredients and I make my own chalk paint.
Yeah.
I experiment with colors, and there's a lot of people that are purists and they're like, it's an old piece of furniture, you shouldn't paint it. We have a friend that cringes when I mention I'm painting it. And I'm like, look at it this way. I mean, I do too. I have my grandparents' original bed set. And I can't even imagine painting the vanity, painting the dresser, and painting the bed.
And quality of wood too.
Yeah. And so I said, but the thing is, a lot of this I get from the thrift store and stuff. And
side of the road.
And people are they disposed of it, so to speak. And I'm giving it a new life.
Right.
Just McKenzie says she's headed her way on to the battered women's shelter to spread some joy. If y'all haven't checked out Just Meet Kathy's channel, definitely put your link in the chat before you leave, Kathy. She goes through and does a lot of dumpster diving, but it's amazing what she does with what she finds. So if you haven't checked her out before, you're missing out. Definitely check it out. Subscribe to her and check out her channel.
Yep.
She has some great things that she does with everything she finds.
Kathy's a sweetie.
I know. She's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know how she does it. Even when she wasn't feeling well, or she still got back in there and got it done and brings it to the food pantries and things like that. It's amazing.
Yep.
There's Yinzer's link. Check his out as well. If you have any questions for Dawn and Mary, go ahead and put them in the chat. So and then one of the questions I want to ask you is, if and when you're going sourcing, is there this one grail got to find, haven't done it yet off your bucket list that you would like to find?
Just one?
Well, it could be more. I'm just saying in general. Is there things that y'all are looking for, that grail of what you wish you can find? And it can be multiples. It doesn't matter.
The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail of what you're looking for, and I'll try to find
it.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So anything vintage electronics, or if I can find it in the box, I'm even happier.
I think the Holy Grail for you is finding those wood cassette holders.
What you talking about, things we found or things we're looking for?
Well, the first question is, what is the grail thing of what you're looking for? In case you haven't found it yet, what is that one thing you're on the search for?
Well, yeah, anything vintage electronics. It's older radios, old cassette decks, old whatever. If I could find them in box, that'd be great. So I like that kind of stuff. I like media and vintage media and stuff like that. And when I say vintage, I'm even talking about cassettes.
Right.
But, I found some really cool things that I wasn't looking for.
Yeah, see, got vintage.
Got vintage. I found so those 100 cassette, those what are they?
Napa
Valley crates, the wooden ones where you'd have.
They don't make them anymore.
100 cassettes on the wall. Those are obviously worth money, and I found someplace had like 9 of them, and I got them for like $7 a piece.
Wow!
I'm selling those for $70. So
wow.
That kind of stuff is cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so our Holy Grail is finding stuff that we know is worth
something
more than what
people think it's worth.
We're going to buy it for.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's not any one thing for me. It's what I can buy for not a lot of money.
Yeah.
And flip it over and make a profit on it.
And I'm not afraid to try to tinker with something to fix it or update it or get it functional again.
She's very good at it, by the way.
So and if I can't fix it, I'll part it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Which
like Commonwealth Picker, not when in doubt, part it out.
Exactly. It's not. If I spent $5 to $10 or even $15 on something and it turns out it doesn't work, because a lot of times vintage electronics, you'll check it right there, sitting there, and everything will work, and you get it home, and now something doesn't work, and it's just the nature of the beast. It's old, belts go bad, they turn to jelly or they break, and just things happen. So yeah. You got to go in it with that thing. It's like, okay, if at worst case scenario, can I part this out and make my money back? Plus, yes, you can. That's the way I work it.
One of my favorite things that I remember when I first got on Etsy, we went to an estate sale and I bought this white pitcher.
Yeah. And
it had an abstract blue cow on it. And they wanted $5 for it. And I flipped it over and saw that it was made like in Finland or Denmark or something. Yeah. And I sold it for $90.
Wow.
It was one of my first sales on Etsy.
I love the surprise things.
Yeah. That when I researched it, I was like, holy moly.
And I'm constantly,
she was like,
I know, I was in shock. I'm constantly fighting. And I think a lot of people.
Not with me.
No, I'm constantly fighting the item blindness. It's like when you're shopping, like even at a Goodwill or at a yard sale or garage sale or something, you know what you're looking for and you're looking for that item. But I got to constantly check myself and make sure I remember to not look over something because I'm looking for something.
That's hard. Why we work well together,
because she'll see something I didn't see. That helps a lot.
She has a different eye for electronics and cords and stuff like that. I look for the more vintage stuff for like China, glassware,
right.
things like that. And so, yeah, there's things that in the same room I passed over, and she's like, "Hey, did you see this?"
And same for me, you know. I'd be like, I'm looking at the games over here, and she's like, "Did you see this little vintage whatever? You know,
are you interested?"
Yeah, are you interested in this Walkman or whatever? I'm like, yes. I just didn't see it because I was looking at the game. So,
and that's what's nice about being together when we do this, is because we also say, now, I don't think we've been in it long enough now and doing this.
Right.
We also say, nah, that's not worth the money. They want too much for it, and we can't make a profit.
Yeah.
Right. Like Horizon Fix says, Kajun, it was nice. Buy it for $5, sell it to hip chicks for $50, and they fix it and you sell it for $150. That works for me. That's definitely workable. Yeah.
There you go.
Noel's birthday is today, so go sub to her and tell her happy birthday. Yeah, I think she comes on at 11. I think.
Today's Noel's birthday. Okay, cool.
Yes, today's her birthday. Now, on another question, I'm going to flip it around. Is what is the best item that you've purchased, whether it's at a garage sale, estate sale, wherever, and either you sold it online or on your antique mall? What is the best thing you bought and then flipped for good profit? More oral eyes than you thought of.
Yeah. The crates for
the
sure. The
mid-century painting.
And the mid-century painting for her, and
toilet paper holder.
The toilet paper holders. Those are some. There was some when I was doing it part-time back in the day, back in my previous life. There were some little sealed puzzle with BBs in them, and you moved them around to get the BBs in the hole. Those things I picked up for like $20, and I sold for over 100. So that was kind of cool.
I bought what's the wood boat that are very popular? I can't think of the name.
Paddle boat? Wood boat?
No, they're
canoe.
I don't know.
I can't. It's not Craftsman. It's Chris
Craft. Okay. Chris Craft.
So this is pre-dawn. I was living in Missouri, and that's when I started.
Back when it was dark, before the dawn.
Before my life was dawn, I was living in Missouri, and I had a jackknife from advertising from Chris Craft.
Wow.
And I put it up for auction because I didn't buy it now then.
Right.
And it went, I forget how much, but I didn't. Either I had it or I don't know. And it sold. We were refreshing constantly because the bidding just kept jacking up.
Nice.
And I sold it for, $50 or something like that.
That's not bad. Oh, the rubber toys from the dumpster.
Yeah.
That was cool too.
We went to a friend's. They were cleaning out her parents' house.
Yep.
And she said, if you want to come over and go through the dumpster and stuff.
Grab it. So
we picked up all these natty looking rubber toys.
Right.
Momster cleaned them up for us, and we sold one so free. Basically, gas is what it cost us to get there and back.
Yeah.
And we sold it for like $300.
Yeah, close to $300.
Wow.
I was like,
that is awesome. Carol says she's at 295 subs. Carol, put your link in the chat. If y'all haven't checked it out and y'all love some great auctions, every Sunday she has a 3 co-host type thing that she does 3 with Brandon, the Lego Man of the Midwest, and Miss Debbie and Max from Debbie and Max Goes Thrifting. They do it every Sunday. It's called Sunday Funday Auction at 4 p.m. Eastern. And so if you haven't checked it out lately, definitely go check it out and check and see if you subscribe to Miss Carol. I have a question in reference to vinyls. I hear you do a lot of vinyls. What is the best way when wanting to do vinyl in an antique mall that you actually tag it? I know some places have their certain way of tagging your inventory. How do y'all do it as far as putting it in your booth with the tag on it without nobody worrying about if they're going to switch out the record with the album?
Well, there's always the opportunity for people to switch out.
Yeah, it's just part of the hazard of the business.
Correct.
So I don't really, I'm not that anal about keeping, sealing them up or whatever, because people don't want to look at them. They want to pull them out and look at them. I put everything in a plastic sleeve. And I put the label on the upper right or left corner, depending on the artwork. It's got our booth number, of course, the title, the item number, the price, and then I also grade them. I put a grade on them. So people.
And what are you using to grade them with? How are you grading them?
So I use I play grade them. So I listen to them, and I use basically I can't remember the name of the disc, the grading system, but if you go to like Discogs, they have a grading system where it's like mint, near mint, very,
Right.
or, you know, VG plus, VG, G plus, G, and fair and poor, whatever. And I follow those guidelines. It spells it out for you. But basically, I play almost everything, and if it's got sound on it,
She cleans them too.
and yeah, you got to clean them. Plus, you got to make sure
How do you clean them?
the inner sleeve is decent.
Right.
I'll replace the inner sleeve if it's not, you know, if it's all ripped up or whatever. Clean the records sleeves, put them in plastic sleeves, and do it that way. So.
And how do you clean your albums if you have to?
I use a couple different things. I don't have a full on disc washer kind of, you know, where
We
you
had one, but we sold
rotate
it.
the record and whatever. This is a vintage disc washer
Oh yeah.
brush, and it
Yeah.
comes with the vintage bottle of basically it's an alcohol and water solution, and then
Right.
the brush. So I use these. If they're really natty and gross and disgusting, I will put them on a microfiber cloth, and then I will spray them with some cleaner and wipe them with the cloth, you know, in a circular motion. But usually I just I use this because most of the stuff I get isn't too bad. But
Right.
this has bristles that only go one way.
Right.
So, you know, you turn it that way and you spin the record and you clean the grooves with the solution. And
Or you have it on the actual record player.
an actual record player?
No, do you do that and clean them when you have them on a record player? Or you just do it by hand.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if they're really natty, I clean them by hand first. But if they're not bad, I'll throw them on the turntable and clean them on the record player.
And we gently pledge the album covers.
Yes, use pledge.
Because pledge works for wood, and what's paper?
Wood.
Yeah, you're right.
Basically, if it's this,
don't saturate it.
Don't saturate it.
Right.
And if it's the porous paper, like some album covers are not shiny, don't wipe them too hard.
Or
Don't
just
spray on there.
put a little pledge on the cloth
Yeah.
first,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
go over.
I even do that when I'm dusting my furniture. I never put it directly on my furniture. I put it on the
Yeah,
towel.
put on the rag, basically.
Lori, that is correct. That is the platform she's talking about.
There you go. Yep.
That's the same one I use.
That's the grading system we use.
Right. Now, when you're doing your tags, are you putting them on the sleeve that you're putting in the album in, or are you actually putting them on the album?
Putting
On the plastic
on the
sleeve.
plastic sleeve. So we got these little.
Yeah, that's what I
12-inch
use.
Yeah, I mean, and you can get them there. These are a little milky, but you can get them really clear too. And they're top loaders, and you just slide the record in, and then I put either corner right on the plastic.
Yeah, I have those in the album and the 45. I buy both.
I use it for 40.
We make our own labels.
Okay. Now, are y'all having to have certain designing labels? Because I know at our place they tell us what we have to have on a tag.
So basically, I don't know if this is going to focus or not. It's got our booth number on it, and then I've got space for for price, information, stock number, and then down here I'll put the grade.
Now, is that something y'all created, or is that something they gave y'all?
Dawn made those.
I made this. We can also buy tags, the hang tag type.
There's
stuff.
actually a vendor there that sells tags, hang tags. So they're not real picky, but they need the inventory number on there, and you need that because you need to know your item.
So yeah, they sell these. Some guy makes these too.
That is awesome. I like that. They look like they're a little bit bigger than your standard tags.
Yeah, these are.
But I also make my own.
And she does her own too, because you can buy tags and make them. So you have a printer, you're good to go.
Okay.
What's nice, I mean, we put the information on the label of what the item is.
Right.
And if they're at least awake at the front desk, they'll see if there's a switcheroo. So.
Flippin says that's a great tip about the pledge. I never heard of that, and I haven't heard about that either before. So
I thought of it.
Right there.
She's going to take credit for it now. Yeah,
no, I did.
It works. I mean, it works, especially sometimes they don't smell quite right because
they have that older pickup smell.
It helps a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying it'll peel the nastiness off of it, but it does help.
Right. Well, good morning, Paul. Good morning, hello, and welcome. It is that time where it's actually the time that I put the link in the chat. Anybody else can join us in the morning show, and if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. There's the link. Anyone else is welcome to come on in. Let me pin that to the top.
come on down.
So
That's right.
If you're gonna sell in a booth, and you're gonna sell records, I think putting them in a plastic sleeve is it's a little more expensive on the back end, but it makes the record
look more presentable,
and it helps protect it because you're gonna sell multiples of records. People are gonna page through them, and so you're not getting all the finger oils and wear on the album covers.
Exactly.
Yeah, the crate I got from you, that's what I'm using it for with the albums because I will bring so many at a time.
Yeah.
But I also put them in the sleeve.
Yeah.
Because if they're gonna at least want to see it, at least I'll be grabbing just that, and if they're interested in it, they pull it out. At least it'd be okay. That's why it's also important to go every week because you just never know. For me, believe it or not, I sell a lot of jewelry.
Cool.
And I have this 3-turn compartment that has the locks on all 3 doors. And every week when I go back, I fill all 3 sides. But for some reason, when I go back, I'm down to one side because I want to basically move everything to one side and freshen up the other 2. It's amazing. It's just unbelievable how much. And then I'm looking at no more than $10-12, for those type. Now, the more expensive ones I do have in the case, but like anything under $10, and it's just I got multiples of, I don't mind putting them on this display where I have a mirror on the top. That way they can actually see what it looks like before they buy it. So
true.
That's another
one thing we haven't gotten into too much is jewelry.
We haven't really. No, we could, but we haven't really done it.
I'm just not that familiar with it.
Yeah.
And we just don't have.
We haven't been sourcing it.
We haven't been sourcing it. We don't really have a way to display it in the booth.
Well, we have display cases.
Yeah, we would have to reconfigure those.
Yeah, that's what. Another thing I don't like about it is because I'm trying to find a bigger tag because the ones I'm using and they don't offer, they don't supply them. They keep telling me go to a dollar store because they have the bigger tags. I haven't found them yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to be going to Staples today because I got some things I want to tag.
I was going to say maybe Staples would have them.
I'm going to go there today because I got to bring some. I have this program where you can bring in the old ink.
Yeah.
And they give you $10 towards your membership specialties that you have on your card.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, it helps
because I burn through ink.
I do too, so I got to bring some in because again, that's $10 more I can use on something else.
Johnny, what do you have to have on your tags?
We have to have the our vendor number name, like what they give us, the inventory name, the price, and the description. And sometimes what I do is because they tell me that it's hard for me to write small. So what I do is on the front of the tag, I'll put my vendor number, the invoice number, and then whatever I invoice it on Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. And I'll put the price at the bottom, and then I'll flip it over with an arrow saying "Look over," and I'll give the description on the back of it.
Yeah,
a small description, something that I have that I use when I'm putting it on the spreadsheet.
All right, if you can't find anything at Staples, contact me privately, and we'll talk because I might be able to make you some tags.
Cool, thank you.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Staples gives us our office $2 for old ink. Yeah, what they're doing is it's you're allowed to get 10 per month at it. So yeah, that's what Staples does here. I'm not sure if they do anything extra because I just when I was talking to somebody that works there about it because I saw they had this big old return tackle bin thing in the store, so that's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah, James, get dressed before you come on. Thank you.
Oh yes, please.
Please.
Yeah, I had to, so everybody else should. I was in PJs like a half hour before the show, so there you go. Now you know.
And there's that commercial where that one guy's getting up and getting his coffee, and he's behind his below his chest. And it said, "Make sure you sit down." And he's got the shorts on with the shirt and tie on the top, and it's amazing. You only have to dress.
Yeah, I've been down here in my grungy jeans that I use for outside and painting and stuff like that.
Nobody sees your grungy jeans,
and nobody sees it because.
As long as you don't get up during the actual promotion and you're live,
yeah, I never, because my luck would be I forget that I was sitting here and
and don't be on your phone live and go to the bathroom.
That's exactly. No. As far as y'all on the antique mall you do, and you were saying earlier y'all do not do flea markets. Is there any other way of sourcing that's your favorite way of going sourcing when you're looking for certain things, whether it be eBay or your antique mall?
So for sourcing for our sales, you mean?
Yeah, for your platforms you sell on or wherever.
Yeah, we have. So for sourcing for the stuff, there's obviously thrift stores, garage sales. We have a local auction place that it's really small time.
Yeah.
That I buy some stuff there because they have a lot of times they'll have vintage stuff, vintage electronics in particular, that computers, stereo systems or record players or tape decks or whatever, VCRs that people don't want, and I get on the cheap, so that I source those there.
Yeah, because they start everything at like $5.
Plus,
okay.
they also they get in some Amazon pallets. They do that. They'll get Gaylords of stuff in. But if stuff doesn't sell individually for like $5, they'll start throwing stuff in a box, and then they do like a box lot of stuff. And a lot of times people look at that and go, "That's just crap." Well, I found some good stuff in those, so I'll buy those too. And then of course, sometimes friends come in and say, "I've got this stuff. I was gonna donate, but you can have it," which is always fun.
We just had a friend do that.
Yeah.
So
we got a bunch of tapes and CDs and DVDs and stuff like that. So
and she asked, like, what are you going to do with this if it doesn't sell? And I said, well, honestly, we'll put it in the garage sale, and if it doesn't sell there and it's in decent condition, we'll donate it. And she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That was my next question. Do y'all do garage sales to get rid of anything that might be something that y'all don't want to put into your indie booth or online?
Yeah, there's always stuff to get rid of.
Yeah, and we're picky about what we'll send. I mean, to the thrift store once the garage sale is done.
If it's broken or whatever,
we ditch it.
Yeah, we'll ditch it or part it out. If it doesn't work properly,
just remember what you donate to the local thrift store, because you don't want to rebuy.
Yeah,
your stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, you walk in and go, dang, don't I have one of those? Well, now I've got two. No,
then you don't remember that you donated it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Going sourcing. Is there any one thing you refuse to pick up?
Either one of you. To pick up.
Yeah, it's something that you just don't want to deal with.
Wow. Anything gross or disgusting? No. We don't really do clothes. It's a rare occasion we'll do anything clothing related. I do have some clothes. I have picked up clothes, but as a rule, I don't go looking for clothes at a garage.
It's just not our thing. It's not because it's just not our thing. It's
right.
Clothing is hardest for us because you got to measure everything, and then
and it's not an interest I have. It's just
right.
It's not an interest I have. So I'm not a fashion plate. I don't do clothing. You're lucky I'm wearing clothing.
I don't got time for that.
Yeah, but I do like, I like toys and I like electronics and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll buy vacuum cleaners and part them out. I don't care.
Yeah, we have a very old vacuum cleaner in our garage right now that's
waiting to be parted.
Broke our garage door.
That's true.
All right, there's your link in the chat. If anybody has not subscribed, that's the shows they do every Tuesday and Thursday. So definitely check it out.
Baby.
12 p.m. at noon. Hello, Veronica. How are you doing today? The cherry picker. That's Veronica. Good to see you. If anyone has questions for Dawn or Mary or both, go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll get those answered for you. When it comes to either selling on any platform and or your antique booth, what would be the top type recommendations you would give somebody if they were interested in doing it for the first time? Say they're in the chat and they're thinking about it, kind of thing. What would be some top tips you would give them?
Well, definitely research for sure. Know what's in the area. Get to know what everything is, and start small. Start with what you got. Start with what you know.
If they've got a locked display case, start small. Start with smalls and stuff like that, and get a feel for it. And be prepared though, because you might have a slow month where you're going to end up paying rent,
right?
Because you didn't make enough to pay rent.
Yeah, it happens.
We've been there a couple times, so you want to have that cash on reserve in case you have to pay rent. They kind of frown on you not paying rent,
right?
And don't think it's throw it out there and leave it. You really do have to maintain it.
Like when we first got the antique booth, we had to drive like a half hour, but I found somebody was selling their family had owned an orchard and for generations, and the remaining family wasn't going to do it anymore. So they were selling all these wood crates for $2 a piece.
We're on that.
And we filled up the back of the car.
We're on that.
I said to her, we got to go. So, it was on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
We drove there. We filled up the car with probably 18, 20 to 30 crates.
Because we didn't have a lot of furniture yet for the booth or display pieces, to put things on. So crates were great for that.
And then I put price tags on the crates.
Yeah. So they'd sell or we could.
But I had to clean them all in the driveway first with Murphy's oil soap because they were kind of bird poopy.
Right.
It was a working farm.
It was a working farm.
And they were stored in a barn that was open pretty much.
So be prepared to do gross stuff.
Yeah. You're going to do some dirty work. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever used display those milk crates or those bottle crates that come in, the plastic ones? Have y'all ever used those for displays?
I would prefer not.
The vintage ones, yeah, but like not the ones you go buy at the store during back to school. Not those.
No.
Right.
Yeah. But
they don't look old enough.
Yeah.
Well, I know I've used one or two before where if I have like that's before I got the crate from you with the record stand thing.
Yeah.
I would use them to put my albums in because it is something that stays sturdy.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing is I'm only using those for the I wouldn't say the best top rated type albums, but again, I do take all my albums, I have a record player, listen to the whole thing while I'm working just to make sure there's no scratches or whatever. And then those, I'll use those milk crates because it's easier to handle. It's also easier for me to put in the records and they stay up standing. So that's why I use them.
I'll use them to transport stuff because they're easier to carry with breakables and stuff like that. But we tend to try to keep the booth looking vintage.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, since I moved to the new booth, though, I'm not using it because I have more display pieces there. I also have these little cube. It's like a display, but it's more like these cube sections. And I got a set of 6 and a set of 4, which works really well. But I have that grayish looking old tone to it. Yeah. And that's what I basically use now because I have like one section for books. And I'll use one section for albums and then display other things throughout. So those, I'm glad I got those because those really work well. So I was able to get rid of the crates for that reason. But I do use them for transferring now. But before that's what I had to because I was just starting out. I didn't have much. So
you got to work with what you got.
Yeah.
So,
good morning, Motor City Scratcher. Hello, good morning and welcome. If y'all into wanting to see the scratching of lottery tickets, I was able to watch the channel yesterday on their live and it was actually pretty interesting. So if you haven't checked it out, go check them out. And there's Jen's Closet. Jen's Closet Gems. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning. It's early.
One of the things I did when we first thought about getting a booth and stuff is I lay in bed at night and look through Pinterest. I would put in like antique booth and
you get some good ideas from that. You really do.
Yeah.
Because I am not an interior designer.
What?
No way.
So, I mean, I can display things, but I was looking for ideas and how to put things together. Yeah. So, like on the school desk, I put books or I put the globe, because I use the space to put things on.
Right.
So we had a metal planter that had it was 2 pieces, metal planter, ornate stand. All I did was clean it up. I didn't paint it or anything. I just left the chippy paint on it. And we were using it to put our records in. And then it sold last month.
Yeah. So it's like,
so when I went to the booth, the records were on the floor. I'm like, well, that's special.
Yeah.
So, but not everybody has a talent for everything when you're doing this line of work. And so there's so many resources out there on the internet that you can find people at blogs and blog about this and get ideas. And
there are Facebook groups, there are YouTube pages, there are YouTube channels. That
Speaking of Facebook, are your Antique Mall part of a Facebook page where y'all can put pictures on there for your booth?
They have. Yeah,
we do too. By the way, Horizon Picks or anyone who wants to come in, the link to the StreamYard is above in the blue box of the chat. You're more than welcome to come in at any time. We do not have any. Once I put the link in the chat, it is up to you to come on in, talk about questions, promote your channel. That's all, folks. Anywho, promote your channel and don't forget to put your links in the chat, everybody, including Motor City Scratchers. I did give you a wrench. That way you can promote your channel, and also I'll put your link in the chat for those who are new to the channel. That way you can subscribe to each other and watch their content. One of the things I want to mention too is when you're doing that, don't forget to at least go watch a video or two and now and then. I know sometimes we cannot watch everybody's channel or their each and every one of their videos they put out, but take the time to watch at least 1 or 2 a week if you can. If not more, that's even better. But make sure you make a comment and hit the thumbs up or down. If it's something you didn't like, make a comment in the chat. Let them know why. If there's something you did like or didn't like, give them some feedback because that does help their channel, and that helps everyone grow no matter what it is, on anything on their channel. There's Kay's channel. Make sure you check out each of the links and then help them out, support them. So you're more than welcome to come in. The link is at the top. Anything in any particular thing that we need to know to be on the lookout for when we are deciding to do, or if somebody is doing an antique booth, either good or bad?
Well, I mean, make sure that make sure that their rules kind of work with your aesthetic and your, what your needs are, price wise, time that you have to spend there, expectations on you.
What exactly do they allow you to sell?
Yeah. And then again, too, some places are more lenient. They're strictly antiques and it has to be a certain age, or they're antiques and collectibles, or they'll just let anything fly. And they'll verge towards flea market. Yeah. So, again, it's, depends on what your aesthetic is and what you feel you can handle and what you want to do. So just really do your research, before you commit to a space. Right. Especially if you commit to a lease of a year or whatever, you really want to make sure that you're in the right space. And
I'm glad you said that too, because in every place is different. For example, when my sister-in-laws have their booth, they have, I think it's like 1990 or older.
Yeah. That
they can put in their booth. In my situation, I cannot have anything, old appliances, clothing. And there was one other category. And if you do, you have to get it approved to be able to put it in your booth. And some booths, and where I'm at, for example, the booths I've had so far is just flat rent. That is it. The rest is yours. Whatever you make over it or less, you have to pay the difference. But you also have, and I don't know how this would happen, but you have 90 days. Like, say, for example, if you don't make your rent or don't go in and say something happens, you go out of town, and you miss the first 2 months of clearing out your bill, regardless if they owe you or you owe them. Right. On that 90th day, if you don't take care of it, that booth automatically comes theirs, whatever is inventoried in that booth. So you got to be careful not to miss on clearing out your monthly fees.
Oh, yeah.
Some booths, for example, they have this thing in our area where it's a large glass room. It does have a door. You pay more, but then you also have to pay a percentage of your sales for that booth on top of your rent. So definitely do your homework when it comes to that, because every place is different.
You get the $100.
Oh, how did I do that? Yes, I did, huh? Sorry about that. Thank you for.
No wonder nobody's come in.
Where are all the people? I thought we were intimidating or something. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I see what I did. I'm glad somebody mentioned that. All this time we've been waiting for people to come in.
It's like, where's everybody?
Somebody say something about the $100. I thought they were just commenting.
That's where they're at.
Sorry about that. All right, here is the link for the morning show with StreamYard.
Da, 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 da.
And here we go again. So yeah, just make sure you do your homework, because each location will have different rules.
Yeah.
The year, the payments, what you can and can't have.
Yeah.
So it's very important that before you decide to jump into it, you definitely want to make sure you do your homework, because you don't want to catch yourself up later and saying, "Oh my God, I didn't know this." Because I know when I signed up, they gave me the 2-page, I think it was 2.5 pages of what you can and can't do, or maybe 2.5. And what you can and can't bring. If you do, you got to get it approved.
Yeah, and what example, like I said, if you have to spend time there, if they expect you to spend 4 hours a week or a month or whatever, behind the desk, yeah, you kind of got to factor that in.
Yeah. And so for me, I enjoyed because at least when I go every week, usually there's always somebody different behind the desk who's working there because they have their set people that work from certain hours. I've even had conversations with the owner. In our town here, there's a big church that turned into it had as a antique mall, and they finally sold it, but we never saw anything yet happen to it because they painted it. The signs are still there. We'll kind of find out the owner, when the owner passed away, the girlfriend is the one who owns the place I go to with my booth, but she didn't have anything to do with this one because when he passed away, she said she just wants to keep that one. And then now the brother owns this one, so they just sold it. So I'm waiting to see what they do with that one because I'm interested in getting a booth there because the signs are still there. They just painted it and refreshed it.
There you go.
So what's up, Roy? How are you doing this morning?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It was hard for me to get up this morning. Trust me.
Thanks for being there, John. I appreciate
It was
it.
fun.
Hope you enjoyed it. You know, a little bit of reference material. I mean, we're talking antique booths, and I'll tell you, I've got some awesome toy scores at some antique malls and booths.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about last night is, again, everybody's like, Horizon, where's the stuff? Are you going to sell? It's more educational reference. We're opening up, you know, with coming out of last year, the flea markets, everyone's picking. That's what I do. The stuff I showed last night, it's out there. You know, what I did last night's a reference. If you find something, you can go back and go, I think that's that thing that Roy showed, and you can know exactly kind of what it is and identify it. So
just like you were showing, I think it was a Superman last night. I never thought about looking on the inner thigh for the information. I'm normally looking for either on the back or the foot. Yeah. Never thinking looking the inside of that thigh. So that was a good thing you did too.
That's with those superpowers, it is a black and white. If it says Kenner, you know, otherwise it's not.
Yeah.
And it's way more. And you know, one of the things too, I always say is like, know what you're selling.
Yeah.
I see a ton of that online. I don't know what this is. $5, you know, and that's just for me. I do this a face palm emoji. I just do. I think it's just, you know what you're selling, because guess what? You're going to get more for it. It's confidence, right? So
Kay has a good thing. She's saying right here. She said the owners of their antique mall has their own show on PBS. So they get a lot of traffic. That's another thing you want to think about when you're doing the antique booth. If you have things, for example, when say they're doing a movie in your area and they're looking for certain things for the stage presence on their videos, on their lives, shows they're doing, or whatever they're filming, they're going to go looking at these antique booths and looking to see what they can fit into that theme of what they're doing on a film. So yeah, she says she is in. Where do you go? Right, Greensville, Smithville, Rhode Island. Cool. Well, we got to take a trip over there and check out that antique mall. I hear a road trip. How y'all doing this morning, James?
Fantastic. Did my laundry. Had to wash my hat and my hanky. Yeah, it was
James.
Oh, man. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I went out to the store and back, and it was kind of humid and I was sweating, so I looked at my hat and said, time to wash this thing. So
yeah.
Now I have it.
Yeah, it's only like what, 102 degrees over there?
It will be today, but yeah, it's not that bad yet.
You can have
you get above 50.
It's going to be 102.
Oh,
get out of town.
Yes, Miss Carol, because I know, well, if Robert's off this weekend, that'd be a great way to go to the antique mall and have a road trip and go meet Kate.
Yeah, no kidding.
It used to be called Still Waters. Okay, I have to check that out. So, that's right, a meet and greet.
So Dawn and Mary, electronics, I put that in, you down with some Ghetto Blaster, okay, we'll have to talk about, I find those all the time. The time. And you could probably repair them. I don't have the time for that. I make sure they work. The speakers rock. I sometimes will hook them up to my iPhone to play music. I use them, but usually the cassette just needs the band, but it's doable.
Yeah.
But I mean the serious like breakdance, beatbox, Ghetto Blaster. Yeah. We'll talk. Yeah.
Okay. Hit me up.
All righty. Yepper.
Yeah, I don't mind tinkering with that stuff. I enjoy it. So.
And again,
right.
like I said,
I need to make more videos while I'm doing it, though. That's
Is he breaking up or am I?
me.
What?
You're
I think
kind of
it's you, James.
It's glitchy over there.
you're
Yeah,
glitching, James.
yeah, you're breaking up a little. But yeah, the ghetto blaster, that is something. You get it fully functional, you could double triple your money. I mean, and
Right.
people totally pay for that, especially hip hop, rap, just a display. I mean, and some of them still pump out amazing sound quality. So
Yeah. Agreed.
love that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, James, you're a little time lapsey.
Yeah. You guys are in like slow motion.
It's funny because
I didn't
that's
know
what
if
we see
it
on
was
your
the
end.
sound or if it was the feed.
That's right. It was Morpheus
I think
now.
so.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
and more.
Hopefully
They're
it'll play
coming
out.
for you, man. They're coming for you.
All says that the heat is messing with your laptop Wi-Fi.
Right.
Yep. Prop up the bottom. Put your pen underneath the bottom of your laptop and jack it up a little bit. That'll help with the airflow.
Get the airflow through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to go. Pack C12. All right. There's his link for the 12 o'clock. Set the reminder.
All right, Philly.
There's Kevin. Good morning. I know you can stop looking for me. I'm here. No need to worry. Move along. Nothing to see. Good morning, Chuck. Kevin. So I love Kevin makes comments like that. What you got going on in your neck of the woods over there, Mr. Roy?
Wanted to come on real quick and say hello. Obviously, these two ladies right here, love you guys. Bought from you guys. Great stuff. You, again, along with Johnny, it supported me early on. It's been great. Going on live last night was a blast. Thank you for everybody who came out. If you didn't catch it live, check out the replay. There's some great reference material. It is every much a bit of just dropping knowledge, having some fun. I gave away some goodies to people, and we're only getting rolling, right?
Right.
And tonight, I will throw the link. I'll throw it in the chat tonight on Comic Book Steals and Deals. They do a live open auction. I'll be on there. I'm going to offer up some serious poop emoji stuff. And I will go on there and it basically just, to support what I'm doing, draw people back to my channel. But he's one of the ones that I got involved with. And that's how I met Collecting Chaos, was through that. And he's great. I know a ton about comics, but he is next level. But
it was so funny last night. Every time you brought a figurine out of some type, he brought it out and it was still sealed in its original pack with the backboard. It was like amazing.
Yeah, he's really, and what's funny is like he can come off at first a little bit gruff, but then like when I started to talk to him and he's really getting more into toys since I've got it, and I can make him smile ear to ear with this, and he wants some of this stuff because we're both collectors and stuff. We kind of nerd out on that kind of stuff. So, and
then he's so organized, even if it's one that doesn't have the actual board and it's not sealed, he has them in those little containers with what it is on the back of it. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
very organized with that.
We'll get into that in another show. Organization, storage, condition. And that's why it's impossible to kind of go through. Everyone's throwing, what about this? What about, we're going to do different shows on certain things. I was just kind of given like a brief history, what to look for, the main things, and kind of the main things are kind of timeless that people generally will kind of want to buy. If you're a reseller, if you're out there.
Right. So is there any questions that you may have for Dawn and Mary in reference to whatever it is that you heard so far in the chat as far as their antique malls, their sourcing, anything like that?
For me? Are you asking me? Yeah. No, the main thing is tough. If you watch, like, say, Antiques Roadshow, most of the experts are for Pennsylvania, like probably 8 out of 10 of them. So there's so much of that, but there's so much antique malls and booths, and they're decent. But for me, I'm a big FeeBay guy, and then I do what I do, and it just doesn't. I put it in the chat. It isn't. I've checked that out. The effort and they're expensive, and to me, it's not worth it for me. But again, that's everyone's different, you know.
Yep.
And I ship all kinds of stuff. I don't care. I don't get into too much of the furniture, which I know is a good one, but I'll basically offer a lot of the stuff up now on live auctions as I go, which clearly you guys have seen. I do that. I enjoy that. It's a lot of fun for me, but I've gotten some amazing buys at antique malls, like in other states. And I'm originally from New Jersey. So, and some of them are still in my collection, but you know, the ones by me, it is every bit like a 30% higher than like what you would see on eBay, and they don't really take offers. So it's kind of, it's more of like a museum. I kind of just go and look and see what's there. But again, everyone's different. You know, it's more collector prices, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's something you got to think about too.
Yeah.
If it's not cost effective for you, then don't do it.
And the effort to be, you know, schlubbing stuff in and out and taking time, and it's not a great fit for me. But everyone's different, you know.
Right. And another thing, when you're looking at different places, you have to be able to look at, is it cost effective? Can I make money on it? Is it something I can take the time to go every week, or try to make sure I can make the time to go in there and refresh the mood, dust everything off? Because you got to realize too, if you don't do that every week, and then every time you go back and you only do it once a month, you're going to have all kind of stuff that's all over you place in your booth that's not in a deep, neat looking display. When you're going, people are going to look at it and say, what is going on with this booth, you know?
Right.
So you got to keep it organized at all times.
Yeah.
Love
sure.
James's background.
So
Mary's taking
Also,
a break.
don't forget, I see in the chat that Storage Stacker, that's Mark, he's doing his shaving the head with whipped cream challenge, or that he's doing because of the challenge he's got. And I'm seeing a lot of the little comments where somebody was to use, where was it? Nutella? Chocolate?
yeah.
I will
Interesting.
not be participating in any challenge.
No.
Shaving your head.
No.
I'm not gonna do it.
He's funny.
I have nothing to shave off.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So I'm
big deal for
good.
you. You can
He's
shave the beard. That would work.
sarcastic. Sarcastic's
happen.
hilarious. He had some funny questions last night he threw in, and when he was on, and I appreciate that. You know, it's that nice little, you know, when you're live having that little joke. I like that. You know.
Yep.
Poor James is having a really hard time again.
Yeah. It's his internet. Yeah.
Neo's coming for him. The Matrix.
Well, here it is. I have a question for Dawn and Mary. Why are y'all so awesome with a smile?
Genetics, I guess, Patrick. I don't know. Because we hang out with awesome people like you guys. That's why.
That's right. Good answer.
There you go.
But yeah.
So, what is the things you have going on your channel coming up soon, Roy? We're going to go ahead and get ready to end the show a little bit. I see my numbers are going down, and so that's going to be my cue to go ahead and get everyone round up. So go ahead and tell everybody a little bit what's going on your channel and what your next lives are going to be and when.
You got it. So, you know, again, thanks for everybody for coming out last night. Tuesdays are going to be on my channel. It's toy talk, chat, hang. It's going to be a little more free form as we go. More giveaways. We're still going to drop knowledge on different types of toys. And then on Thursdays, I will be over on Collected Chaos's channel, and that's comic centric, but we're still going to have that crossover. I am going to begin doing live auctions starting next month on my channel. I do have a date confirmed now, May 29th. I am going to be back on Tiffany's Cool Finds. It is a Saturday blowout epic. That's going to be my next big auction. So tune in for that. I think she's putting a slide up. That's going to be a Saturday fun blowout. And I'll be doing some other small things, but really gearing up to kind of gaining traction to do my own thing on my own channel. I'll probably do a pop-up or something before that big one. But there's a lot of preparation that goes into that, as I really wanted to, you know, burn up the screen. So it's kind of it for the moment. So,
and again, if you missed last night's show, go back and watch it. It was on Horizon Pictures channel last night.
Yeah. So.
All right, what y'all got going on, Dawn and Mary? And any last final thoughts?
Any last final thoughts? Be kind to people. Be kind to people.
Try to be nice.
Try to be nice. It doesn't cost you a darn thing. There you go.
Because, you know, we know each other from YouTube, right?
Right.
We know people, but if you buy something from somebody, and just be nice about it. If you get it and there might be an issue, don't jump down their throats.
Oh no, we're good with
Just,
that way.
It's just a suggestion, people.
Are you telling me something about something you've sold recently?
No,
dear?
but
Okay, good.
I'm just saying
I'm
we
worried.
hear stuff. Everybody hears the gossip and stuff, and
Right.
it doesn't take much to be nice about things.
Yeah.
Look at how you
Just
word
in day-to-day
things.
life too.
It's hard to translate. You know, you can be nice with your words when you're emailing somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of being brunt about it.
Yeah.
And just be nice.
I'm worried now.
And
something's
no.
coming down the pipe. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go to marriage counseling now.
I'm worried.
No,
Be kind
I'm
with your
saying
words.
it can be an issue sometimes.
Okay.
And when you're dealing with online people,
Communication is the
because
key.
it doesn't always translate well. So
Ah.
look at how you say stuff
Thank you, Mel.
to others. And if you need to resolve an issue, take it up with that person.
Yes, be direct.
Exactly.
Don't triangulate. Don't. It's a word we use around this house a lot.
Because she's, psych degree. But hey, it's true. And
No,
also,
don't laugh. I've dealt with people all my life. I
It's
kind
just
of,
the way she said it.
I know. She throws it up all the time.
psych degree. Yeah. So I have to defend myself against said psych degree. So I have to know these things too.
I have no. If it's a challenge of the wits,
And
I'm screwed.
And your mother
basically.
said you'd never use that degree, and here you
I
are.
know.
There you go.
How's that?
So yeah. Other than that, we're on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Please come by and check out our show. We have a chick chat. It's noon Eastern time, where we're pretty much just like this, only with less supervision.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, it depends if Momster's here or not.
Well, yeah, if Momster's here, we got to be good. But other than that,
Got to represent.
And that's not always easy.
No.
So yeah, that's it. Come check us out. We're very happy to be here. Thank you so much for having us,
Johnny. I appreciate
Thank you for coming on. I mean,
with our
the
morning
best thing
thing.
about this is everybody that I'm trying to bring on in the morning show, it does not matter how many subs you have. The point is what you can give to others that may not know ways of either sourcing or doing business or making profits. There's so many different avenues. And every different one that comes on brings something different to the table. And if you're under 100 subs, just starting out, it doesn't matter because everybody has something different. And that's what's good about learning. You have to be able to want to learn more.
And we don't mind if somebody emailed us after the show. You can email us, get a hold of us somehow. And if you have a question that you thought of after the fact, we're here. We'll do our best to answer.
Put our email in the chat.
Yeah. And also, I'll get that email and I'll put it in the description bar below because I do have all their information in the description bar. Every morning, whoever the guest is, I do have their information in the description bar. I know some people don't go look at the description bar, but believe it or not, that is used to help you find things about that video and or about guests that are on the show. So I use that for that reason. So don't forget to go check that out. Also, everyone, all have wrenches. Drop your links because you just never know who may be looking for the content that you're putting out. Miss Carol, where's Miss Carol? Go ahead.
My regrets is poor James here.
Dude.
All right, look. Okay, hold on a second. We have Miss Carol at 299. We have a total in the chat of, and please make sure you are subscribed. Go check out the link regardless. We got 23 in the chat. I'm sure we have at least one of you who, and I check every day when you put the links in because I know for a fact I have been subscribed to Miss Melly Love Slots. And I just went check and it was not subscribed anymore. So definitely make sure you check the links. See if you're still subscribed and then make sure you are subscribed. If it's red, turn it gray. And make sure you hit the notifications for the channel so you can get the notifications. Again, if you have anything special coming up, put it in the chat as well. But I want to give Ms. Carol over 300.
Right.
Can we do it before we end the show? Please.
Do it for the children.
Do it for the children.
Yes, right. Do it for the children. Do it for the community.
It's just stuff that's in my head that comes out here.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why our shows are the way they are because
that's right.
It's up here
in her head.
and it's like spinning around and then.
Yep. And also don't forget, Dawn is also part of the Holla Dollar Money Emotion. We do have it every Tuesday now with Victoria. So come on and check that out. We do have, I think, 6 slots left that we'll be doing next Tuesday. So come check that out as well. Kevin says step by step, day by day. So the problem is YouTube way. I am a poet.
Really?
Okay.
Really? You're putting on a hat now?
Now I'm putting on the hat. No. I'm
Ow.
no, I didn't want.
Is that
to
part of the wimpy? I love your little wimpy thing. Let's see. Let's see if Miss Carol's at 300. 300. Yes. Thank y'all.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. There you go.
Yep. Oh, cool. Kayla was number 300. Awesome. Thank y'all so much for helping. And I love doing this on every morning show. If somebody's that close, like Yenza, for example, he has been bouncing back and forth from 100. So if you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out and see. We want to keep him over 100 because you know how we work so hard to get to where we're at. And then a lot of times you lose your self-esteem sometimes. So definitely go back and check and because they're always in the community, always in every chat, asking questions, asking to better themselves. So make sure you go back and check to make sure you're subscribed to everyone. That's that wimpy. Let me see what you got right there.
It's one of those stickers I made.
Oh yes, I gotta use mine. You know, I keep forgetting I have this thing that says discounted code.
There you go. For the
and website. I haven't used it yet, but yeah.
We tried it.
Show your wimpy over there. I love it. Yes, I love
it. A constant topic.
Yep.
Always happening. And we are trying to do our best.
Yep.
Understood.
Instead of a burger today to pay you Tuesday, you get a burger today you pay for it today.
That's right.
Nice one, James.
James is hiding over there. So yeah, definitely make sure you subscribe to everybody. Help everybody out. I love going live every Saturday playing some slots and scratch tickets. I just checked out one of them you did this weekend. I was able to catch. It was good to be part of your live. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get right in the show. Poor James is having issues with his internet over in the city of a town in Mexico. So it's good to see each and every one of y'all every morning. And again, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I do have my link tree. It is a way that you can contact me through any social media. I also have where you can contact me if you have anything that you need help on. I have a thing where I can help you as much as I can during the times of my shows. I will make time in case if it's something that if I have something planned, I will let you know. We'll set it up in the back screen where we can help out. I can help you with everything I can because I have done that in the past, and I love doing that to help others when they're wanting to learn. So as I say before I end each and every show, like always, love always. Love is always free. Please be kind to one another until we meet into another chat. Have a fabulous and blessed day, evening, and until we meet again. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, today at 3 o'clock is the Hump Day auction. Until we meet again in another chat. Later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.